Slow.
What's up, everybody? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's been a fun time over here. I hope you guys are all doing good too. Wanted to start off with a new series, kind of doing some different talks about gear and setup and tips and tricks and whatnot. So I got a few things here. We're going to talk today about setting kids up for a shot. So a lot of this we've had some learning experiences on our hunt to Idaho with Jackson and Rhett. Both used kind of a similar setup, and then also Rhett took a shot, and Jackson took all of his shots in the same setup with that adapter for the Bog Pod Death Grip on the tripod. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, how we do it, kind of what we learn from that, what we might do differently. Mostly just so that way you can have that experience and that knowledge without having to go through the same things we did. But all right, stick around. Guys, well, if you haven't experienced it, going out with someone who's brand new at hunting or a kid is definitely a very difficult process. Getting set up for the shot is feels impossible at first. And honestly, at the very beginning, you work so hard to find an animal, set them up and everything, and then just to have a shot taken and they miss. Or worse, they can't even find it in the scope. So I've been there, I understand. And that's kind of why I made this video today, is to talk a little bit about a process that I feel like works really well. And that is basically setting them up for that shot, finding it in the scope for them, zooming out, and leaving it right there and letting them crawl behind and getting set up on the rifle. So my absolute favorite is still, to this day, to try to get set up prone and have the rifle just basically setting there, and they can crawl up and crawl behind the scope and take that shot. But the tricky part is a lot of times, you have grass that's so high and there's no vantage point to set up on to get a prone shot. So what do you do at that point? Well, that's where I have to give credit to my uncle Aaron. So check out his YouTube channel here in the description. I'll leave a link there below. But he came up with the idea of using the Bog Pod Death Grip, at least for us. Now, this is not new. Some of you may already be doing this. I'm just trying to share what helps us. But in our family and our system, that's kind of where it started, was the idea of using the Bog Pod Death Grip, but that is absolutely not enough by itself. So we came up with shooting sticks also to support that, and you can basically at that point set up the rifle and then have two forms of support, kind of one towards the front, one towards the back, and line it up for the shot for, say, the youth hunter, in this case, someone real young that's a kind of inexperienced, and you can set it up, find it in the scope, zoom it out, and leave it there. And then typically when they get behind the rifle, they'll still struggle to find it until it moves. And then usually the movement in the rifle scope, they'll catch onto it. They can zoom in at that point or whatever. But it's left us with a lot of success. And that's been a tricky situation because there's been plenty of times where they can't get set up for a prone shot, and maybe they're not comfortable or big enough yet to handle the rifle in like a sitting position or leaning up against the pack or anything like that. So this saddle option is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and jump over there and I'll show you some of the components, and then we'll set it up and see what you guys think. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to set up for a side profile shot here. So have the rifle facing this way. That way you can kind of see. But let's just say that I have a setup. I'm able to get my tripod stable here and kind of where I want it. I keep this in my pack. As you can see, it's kind of bulky, not the funnest, but I keep it in my lid just to make it easy to get to. I like to try to set it up by changing the direction of my quick adapter, quick release plate, so that the tightening is on the left hand side. of the rifle. So anyways, I keep this on there. I bought this for my tripod head that I have. I just bought an extra, and I keep one on here just for the purpose of being quick. You know, when you find that shot, sometimes it's just a matter of minutes and then that's gone. So I keep one on my outdoorsman adapter that I have for my binos, and then I bought this one to keep just on this. And actually, I might get a third one just so that way I can have it for my spotting scope. Now I carry a separate tripod for that reason, but anyways, having this is a really great thing. First thing I do is pop that back, get that set up just like that. So about that quick, I can get the adapter on there. All right, so the next step would be to grab the rifle. So I have the rifle here. I still keep my strap on it because I do like to carry it occasionally on my shoulder. And then I do have the bipod. I'm trying to debate on what to do, whether just to take that off altogether. But for prone shots, that's really great. And this one's not quick and easy to put on. So that would be another option, is I could just get a different setup so that I can quickly release that bipod and attach it when I want. That'd be probably pretty nice. But let's just say that we're going to go here. I don't even worry about the strap. I just kind of put it right around it. And then I set it, I set the rifle towards the front, kind of right behind the the bipod there. And then I just clamp it down. So about here, you'll see that it's pretty tight. And if I tighten up my tripod, it doesn't quite hold it. As you can see, it's starting to kind of tip down. So that's the issue with just using this. Now you could move it farther back, but still, you can see that just the movement and the play in the tripod head. Now this can tighten down so it won't spin as easy, but there's just a little bit too much play like that to have a really, really steady shot. So that's when we came up with this. I didn't come up with it, but I found it. It's called the Wiser Precision, and it's called the Quick Connect. So anyways, it's these two adapters that just go right on trekking poles. So I am not sponsored by them. I have no reason to promote it other than I just liked it. So it's Wiser Precision, and it looks like it's called the Quick Sticks. So I took them there and I click them together, and then the tripod, my shooting sticks become my trekking poles become a pair of shooting sticks. So I can open up my trekking poles there, get that set up. So obviously this is rather slow right now, but I can do this pretty quickly out in the field. So I kind of get this set up, and looks like that needs to be tightened quite a bit. All right, so bring the shooting sticks underneath, and then I rest that down there. Okay, and I can kind of close them in. So this is one option here. Now that's kind of more for like a higher angle shot. If I'm more level, keep you right there. So this is one option. When you kind of pull down here and you have this tripod set up in the front, this is super steady. I can walk away from this, I can look through the scope, and I can get it set up. You know, so I have it zoomed all the way out, and I find it in the rifle. I can pretty quickly move over, I can pan. If I want to go up, I just close the legs a little bit and it'll bring it right up. And so that's one option. Now, obviously, I have it set up here for my height kneeling. So that's one of the tricky parts that I've realized, is that when I am setting this up for a youth hunter, typically it's an awkward position because they aren't tall enough to kneel and get back where I am. But that's just part of kind of the trade-off with using this method. So the other maybe downside of this is that this tends to get in your way. So not for me necessarily, but if I want to get up in here and I really want to see it, it's almost like it's kind of in my face, you know, that it can be. So I want to get them steady and secure, and say I like that shot right there. I kind of put my hand down here and hold them, and then I can tuck in there, make sure, look at my bubble level really quickly, pan over, get it level, and then I'm ready to take a shot right there. So that feels perfectly still for me. I'd be comfortable shooting out several hundred yards on that. Now, depending, oh, it looks like it's kind of getting all messed up right there. Loosen that up and level that out. Okay. So set that up. So that's one option right there for getting set up for a shot. Some other ideas have been, if these are getting in your way, I had a friend suggest to maybe move these to the front and move the tripod to the back. And that might be another great way. In fact, why don't we just pause real quick and we'll set it up that way. Take a look. All right, guys, so this is with it flopped around. So now I have the butt of the rifle attached to the BogPod Death Grip here, or kind of held by the BogPod Death Grip, with the Wiser Precision quick sticks on my trekking poles set up on the front. And so I actually like this a lot too. The only downside is that if I want to move the rifle up and down, which is pretty frequent that you're gonna have to do something like that, it is a lot. I have to move my tripod, which isn't bad because I have the adapter for like the head right here, so I can kind of just run the center pole up and down. So that's not bad, but if you hit the bottom, you have to adjust 3 legs to get it to go any lower, or maybe spread your legs out. You could pop out the clips right here. So just things to think about. But anyways, I get set up for a shot. I can get perfectly level. I like this. I can kind of grab onto the shooting sticks here. I can kind of set up, lean into it just a little bit, and I feel really, really steady. So that's a great shot. You know, that'd be a really good opportunity. I can leave the rifle there. I can jump out of the way, you know, and have a youth hunter come jump in, and it's already set up where they can see everything. So this is the idea behind the setup that we're working with. Again, we have the BogPod Death Grip, which is just an adapter saddle. It screws on to pretty much any tripod head. So it fits on there. I just pop it on and off with a quick plate that I have for my specific tripod head. And then in the front, I'm using, you could use any kind of shooting sticks. I just found the Wiser Precision quick stick system. So I'll put links into both of these products. That way you can at least kind of know what we're talking about. But it is a really great way to get set up quickly for a shot, and obviously to have it set up and leave it maybe for someone else who struggles to set up to come in. Now, this would be something I practiced. When I swapped these two around, it took me much too long to get that set up the right way. But now knowing kind of a few things, I could do it in half the time next time. So, I mean, with our hunts, I was able to do this in just a matter of 30 seconds, be set up, and I'm finding the buck in the scope and then getting out of the way, and Jackson or Rhett can take a shot. So let me show you some of those video clips so we can kind of see some of the shots that they've taken.
Buddy. So this is our setup. We had 480 yards.
Okay, go ahead. Slowly. I bumped my...
I hit him?
No. Yes.
I hit
Reload.
him?
Yep. Reload. You got him. I bumped my thing. He's staggering. He's down. He did a backflip.
Really?
Yep. Killed him.
Let's go.
Dude, he just did a backflip.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Can you see him? Find your snow patch if you can. I think. Okay, tell me if you see him.
I see him.
Okay, shoot him. Closer to his front shoulder. Go. Oh, you got him. You got him, Jackson. Reload.
See some of that. Here's one more look at the setup. I definitely like it. It's very steady, secure, and stable. So it works really well for those purposes that I've already mentioned. But this is the Hunt Talk series. I would like to continue this. If you guys are interested, please let me know what you'd like to talk about. I'm just trying to share any of the experiences that I've had, maybe some of the things that I've got that have been worth it. I showed you the positives and negatives of this setup. So we'll continue this. Hopefully have a couple of guests on. But I think we're going to talk a little bit about optic setup and optics and different options for that, as well as tripods and stuff like that. And then as well as strategy. So tips and tricks. I know quite a few tips and tricks for Coues deer hunting. Starting to learn a little bit about mule deer hunting as far as outside of the state of Arizona. So yeah, definitely cover those in the future. Look forward to talking more with you. And again, thanks for watching.